was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern show to thee in the mount. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
Amen.
Which was established upon better promises.
Mm-hmm.
For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
Right.
For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, then I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. And this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. So from greatest to the least. Amen. Verse 11. In that he saith, A new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. This is verse 9. Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and worldly sanctuary. There was this tabernacle, and of course there was Aaron's rod that budded in there and all that stuff. Verse 4. Let's get down here now. Verse 7. Unto the second went the high priest alone once every year, not without blood, which he offered for himself for the errors of the people. The Holy Ghost thus signifying that the way into the holiest of all was not yet made manifest. Holy Ghost? Who brought that up?
Right.
So, again, people object, say, well, we call him Holy Ghost, we don't call him by name. Well, maybe his name is Holy Melchisedek. And wait a minute. And people say, well, yeah, but he's just a ghost. He's not you can't see a ghost. Well, wait a minute. John said he saw the Holy Ghost descending on Jesus like a dove.
Yes.
Are you going to tell me John the Baptist didn't see the Holy Ghost descending on Jesus like a dove? So see, the Holy Ghost can take on a visible form, so that John saw him as a dove. See, so see, every objection people have, there seems to be a Bible verse as a clinker to say, wait a minute, you better be careful here. There might be a little more going on than meets the eye. And of course, it was my son-in-law David that said, hey, maybe that thing in Daniel where the 3 Hebrew boys were thrown in the fire, and they said the form of the fourth man was like the Son of God. It didn't say he was the Son of God. The king said he saw him and that he seemed to be like, because the king definitely saw the Lord in his dream as that rock hewn out of the mountain that tore up the golden idol that was made of brass and iron and so forth. When it hit his feet and it all fell down. And at the end of time, Jesus is going to destroy the Gentile kingdoms of the world, the New World Order, in the very end. So the king had seen him in a dream, so he ought to be able to recognize him if he saw him in the fire with the 3 Hebrew children. And yet he said he was like. So David has said, wow, maybe that was another appearance of Melchizedek. In the Old Testament, God's Holy Ghost showing up, because it didn't say he was the Son of God. It said he looked like the Son of God, and of course I think he would. Because it was God's high priest, and yet in the New Testament sense, well, wait a minute. Jesus said he would send the Comforter. We know that was the third person of the Godhead, the Holy Ghost. And so, like I said, he's praying for us. He's got this office that he can still perform, even though it is Jesus who's sitting at the right hand of the Father and is interceding for us right now. Because he and the Holy Ghost then have changed offices. See? And now the Holy Ghost is running around down here, and he's in us and doing what he's supposed to do. So it's a fascinating study. And these are some of the things that we believe and based on our King James Bible. And then one more thing, and I'm done. If you ever do find something that's kind of way out like that, you always need to kind of study and confirm it before you ever announce it publicly.